come out week in, week out, prophesy the downfall of America, known as Babylon, known as the daughter of Babylon, Sodom, Egypt, and the whole society, as a whole, is Rome reincarnated all over again. Like to say, Shabbat Shalom to all the brothers out there, and all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, double honors to the elders for waking us up in His truth, the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and honors to all the brothers out there doing this work with truth and sincerity. Out here to assist in the helping of the waking up of the elect of the nation of Israel, which are you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. They come out here to condemn, the so-called white man, which is biblically known as the nation of Edom or Esau, and they condemn the rest of these nations and 2/3 of our people. But with no further ado, let's let the scriptures speak. Micah chapter 2, starting at verse 1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in their power of their hand." And those that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds, that's the so-called white man, starting with the elite, which are so-called Jews. But they're really Khazars, or biblically, they're from the nation of Edom, from the tribe of Amalek. And those are them that iniquity and work evil upon their beds, because they're constantly coming up with ways for the nation of Israel, which is the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, to go off. They're constantly doing all types of witchcraft ceremonies, from presidential inaugurations. Even the so-called music award shows that a lot of Negro Latinos participate in are witchcraft ceremonies and initiation ceremonies for a lot of these artists to become underlings to the Illuminati, so to say. So it says in verse 2, it says, "And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage." So they covet fields because that's all you see the so-called white man do. He did it with the land of America, man. So-called land of America, which is originally known as the land of Canaan. Our brothers, which is the so-called Native Americans, really from the tribe of Gad, and the Seminole Indians from the tribe of Reuben, they were civilizing this land, man. They were occupying this land at first, but the so-called white man came over here and coveted the land. He wanted the land, so he took it by force. He made all type of treaties, all type of peace treaties and pacts with the natives of this land, and he broke every single one of them, man. And he slaughtered all the Native American Indians on this land, man. Over 90% of the population he slaughtered. Same thing over there with so-called Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic and Cuba and all that. The Spaniards went over them. They covered that land, covered the resources and the riches of that land, and took it by violence, man. And then they oppressed the people there. They oppressed their houses, they oppressed their families, and they oppressed their heritage, man. They took the so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, put them in slavery, and oppressed their heritage, beat their heritage out of them, man. So they fell off and they lost who they were. They lost their identity. And now, modern day, they're trying to take our people, namely the elect, man, and oppress our heritage again. Because they're passing all type of legislation to try to keep us from coming out here and waking up our people, pushing this truth out on the streets, man. Because this is where the Bible is supposed to be taught. It's supposed to be taught out here on the streets, in public, where anyone who passed by, they can either hear and wake up through the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, or they can ignore, turn their head, and get marked to death. says, in righteousness shalt thou be established. Thou shalt be far from oppression, for thou shalt not fear, and from terror, for it shall not come near thee. So it says, in righteousness we're going to be established. And that's what's happening right now with the elect. You know, starting with the elders on down, we were beginning, matter of fact, starting with Abba Bivens and on down, we're being established in righteousness. What's the righteousness? It's the truth of these scriptures, man. And that's how the elect is being established. This is the bait that the men of the Lord are going out and fishing with. And whoever bites, you know, it's a good probability that they're the elect, man. So it says, verse 15, behold, they shall surely gather together, but not by me. Whosoever shall gather together against thee shall fall for thy sake. And whosoever gathers together against us, man, is going to fall, because they're marked for death, man. So if you hear us out here preaching and teaching, man, and pushing this gospel out, and you buck up against us, you come up against us, even if you're on the internet just watching, man, and you talking shit, you're going to get marked for death, plain and simple, man, because you're coming up against Yahweh Shem Yahshua. You ain't coming up against us, man. We ain't nothing but the messengers. So if you come up and you buck up against the messengers, what you think the king is going to do, man? He's going to send for your head next time the messengers return. So this is verse 16. It says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. And the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, those are the scientists that's developing the nuclear missiles, man. Because that's how the Lord is going to destroy America, by thermonuclear missiles, man. Thermonuclear fire. It says, I've created the waster to destroy. Because that waster is those thermonuclear missiles. And they're going to destroy the land of America, thus saith the Bible. When we go into World War III with Iran, Russia and China is going to join in. And Russia has a nuclear missile that they developed called Satan. Because they're going to use it against Satan, even though they're the devil themselves. But what does the scripture say? If Satan be against Satan and their kingdom be divided, then how shall it stand? That's exactly what's going to happen, man. The so-called white man's rulership is going to crumble and collapse, man, right before his eyes, to the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. So it says, verse 17, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. So it says, no weapon that is formed against us is going to prosper, man. Prosper. From the thermonuclear missiles, man, from all the little technology and weapons that the government has. To all the little simple-ass weaponry that these simple-ass niggas out here have, man, that want to come up against us. None of that is going to prosper, man. And every tongue that tries to rise up against us while we out here casting judgment through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, using the words of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, we're going to condemn, man, through the words of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. This is the measuring stick that we use to condemn the rest of the people, because really, we're not condemning them. We're just measuring them out and judging them through the scriptures, and then the angels is going to send that report back to the Most High, and he's going to condemn them, man. This is Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war, of evil, and of pestilence. So the prophets who was back in the ancients, man, they prophesied against many countries and against great kingdoms of war, evil, and pestilence. Kingdoms like Babylon. Daniel prophesied against Babylon, man. He told the king of Babylon exactly what was going to happen to him. He told Darius, when the Medo-Persians came in, exactly what was going to happen to them, man. You know, we prophesied against the Roman Empire. We prophesied against Egypt. Moses prophesied against Egypt, man. And now the prophets are back here today prophesying against the land of America. Because the land of America is filled with nothing but wickedness, man. You got homosexuality running rampant. They trying to legalize, well, they legalized homosexual marriage, man. which is complete wickedness, man. That's why the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, because they had a bunch of faggots running around. They want to legalize, not legalize, but basically they already made it a right for these women and these men out here to commit adultery. And then when the women that's married to a man goes out and commits adultery, she's able to divorce the nigga, leave him, take half the shit and the kid. When the law that the courts, you know, from the Bible, that they have you swearing, the law in that Bible tells you if a woman leaves, she leaves with nothing, man. Because according to the law, a woman is bound to her husband until death, man. Saving fornication. Unless she went out there and she committed adultery, then the man is allowed to put her to death, man. And the person that she committed adultery to death. So it says, verse 9. It says, the prophet which prophesieth of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord hath truly sent him. And that's what these pastors do, man. That's what all the rest of these false prophets out here, they try to prophesy about peace when there is no peace right now. How can there be peace when there's wickedness throughout the land, man? There can be no peace. Not only that, this land was developed and built off bloodshed. And the law says that the blood cannot be cleansed from that land until the person who spilt that blood hit their blood is shed. So the so-called white man, his blood hasn't been shed for the blood that they spilt on the land of America, man. So there is no peace. So all these pastors out here who's prophesying about peace, who's saying that today is going to be a good day and so forth, and tomorrow, they're false prophets, man. They ain't out here telling you what you need to hear. They ain't out here warning you about the things to come, about martial law, about the race wars. They ain't out here warning you about famine and about pestilence. They ain't out here warning you about America about to be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles and about the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, man. So once you see that the words of the prophets, the true prophets that are out here telling you about martial law, about race wars, about the famine, about World War III, about the mark of the beast, once you see that coming to pass, then you're going to know that the Lord sent those people, man, sent those men, that the Lord sent us, man. It's all through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai that we let these things be known unto. Because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't know these things ourselves. It's Ezekiel chapter 14, verse 9. And if the prophet be deceived when he hath spoken a thing, I, the Lord, have deceived that prophet. And I will stretch out my hand upon him and will destroy him from the midst of my people Israel, which are you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. So the scripture said if a prophet has been deceived, prophesying about peace, prophesying about better things to come, when it's only evil times around the corner, then it's the Lord who deceived that prophet, man. So all these pastors that's in these churches, these popes, your teachers of the Muslim doctrine, man, the Lord deceived them into believing that bullshit that they believe, man. Because everything that they say is going to come to pass is not coming to pass, man. This is verse 10, it says, and they shall bear the punishment of their iniquity. The punishment of the prophet shall be even as the punishment of him that seeketh unto him. So it says the punishment of that prophet, these so-called pastors, your so-called honorable, you know, Louis Farrakhan, with his bullshit doctrines, man, these so-called popes, you know, the Most High is going to destroy them, and the people who seek after them, who want to follow them, the Most High is going to destroy them along with that pastor, man, along with that false prophet. That's according to the scriptures, man. This is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 8. It says, now go right before them in the table, and note it in the book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever. And then that table in that book is the Holy Bible, man. That's why King David said, let their table be a snare unto them. Because that table is these scriptures, man.